I spent the morning investigating South Harbor. You spent it pretending to be construction equipment. We were testing structural integrity.
He failed twice.
The specifications were unclear.
They had pictures.
I found something that may improve your morning. What am I looking at? A ground-penetrating radar survey from beneath the eastern section of South Harbor. Henry Walsh found multiple underground structures, timber remains, and human burial markers. The city archives confirm that section was used as a quarantine dock during the 18th century. There may be a protected maritime burial ground beneath the site. Why wasn't this included in the environmental disclosure? Because Walsh refused to certify the final survey. Someone removed his preliminary findings before the property went to auction. If construction uncovers protected remains, the city issues an immediate stop work order. The State Historic Preservation Office takes control of the investigation. And Victor's $1,800 million development becomes land he cannot touch.
So he stole a very expensive cemetery. Am I wrong?
No. That isn't the best part. Harbor Crest financed the acquisition with short-term construction loans. The loan agreement requires continuous development approval. Once the stop work order is issued, the banks can freeze the remaining credit. They can also demand additional collateral from Victor's trust. You already contacted the lenders. I informed them that material information may have been withheld. That sounded almost legal. I'm growing as a person. Send the original survey to the city, the State Preservation Office, and the independent board investigators. Already done.
You both make the same face when you're about to ruin someone's day.
I recovered your stolen project, exposed Victor's shell company, and involved my family's banking relationships. That is a substantial consulting fee. Name your price. You're suspended, publicly disgraced, and currently without access to your own office. Your market value has declined. Consider me a long-term investment. High risk, high return. That remains unverified. I'm available for due diligence. You've been unemployed for less than 24 hours and already have too much free time. I'm checking on Eli. You still haven't named your price. I'm still assessing the asset. The city halted all work at South Harbor. On what grounds? The excavation uncovered human remains and 18th century maritime artifacts. The site is now under archaeological protection. How long? Months, possibly years. 3 lenders froze Harbor Crest's construction credit. They're demanding additional collateral by Friday. Adrian knew. The stop work order is official. Victor's lenders froze the credit line 18 minutes later. Harbor Crest's board is already blaming him for failing to conduct due diligence. He wanted your project. Now he owns the liability.
I need you to compare these.
Where did you get the second sample?
That sounds like a question asked by someone delaying the test.
It is a question asked by a doctor who enjoys keeping his medical license.
You're very handsome.
That usually means someone is about to ask me to break a rule.
You're also clearly very intelligent.
2 rules, apparently.
I only need to know whether that man could be my biological father.
Does Julian know you're here for this?
My father has a complicated relationship with information.
That means no. I need guardian authorization.
Adults ruin everything with paperwork.
What happened? Your son arrived with 2 DNA samples and the negotiating technique of a hostile corporate attorney. Whose sample? Adrian. He took it from a coffee cup. Can you run a private screening? With your written authorization, Yes. Do it. And when the result comes back? Do not tell him yet. Julian. Victor is still free. Someone has already used Eli to manipulate Adrian once. Until this is over, the fewer people who know, the safer he is. He deserves the truth. I know. Then tell him. I'm asking for time, not permission to bury it forever.
So he isn't my father.
This is not a legally valid paternity report.
That sounds like something adults say when they don't want to answer.
You should talk to Julian.
He'll say I'm too young.
He may be afraid.
That doesn't make lying better.
You made me mislead your son without technically lying. I know. You owe him the truth. I intend to give it to him. I was upstairs for less than 3 minutes. You told me there were 2 teams watching him. The attackers used clone credentials and a duplicate vehicle transponder. Where is my son? We are going to find him. You don't know that. Eli watches exits, memorizes license plates, and questions every adult who approaches him. He is still thinking. He's 4. 4 3/4. You lost a project, your position, and your reputation. I wonder what else you had left to lose. Victor, if you touch him, then what? You'll run again? No. This time I'll stay long enough to watch you lose everything. Pier 17, midnight. Adrian brings the original financial evidence and signs over his voting interest in the Foster Family Trust. No police. The call was routed through 6 relays. Coordinate with the harbor unit, quietly. I'm coming with you. No. He is my son. And if I'm right, not now. Then we bring him home first. Adrian Foster, following instructions. Where's Eli? The evidence. You spent your entire life acting untouchable. All it took was 1 man and 1 child. You still don't understand the difference between leverage and weakness. The difference is that leverage belongs to whoever holds it. Release Eli. Once I'm outside American waters. That wasn't the agreement. Agreements are for people with equal power. You stole Bebe, bought protected burial site, and kidnapped a child. You have never beaten me. I've done that well.
You chose a terrible hiding place.
Be quiet.
The building number is visible from the window. And the ship horn sounds every 90 seconds. That doesn't make the building move.
Do you ever stop talking?
My father asks me that frequently. I need the bathroom.
Hold it.
If I don't, you'll have to explain the chair to your employer.
We have a signal from Eli's watch. Send the harbor unit. Adrian, we found him. Eli is alive. The harbor unit is entering the building now.
They found him. You brought the police. You kidnapped the child. You lost the right to set the rules.
Are you hurt?
No. I sent the location.
I know.
Your security team was a little slow.
We'll include that in the performance review. I think we should be properly introduced. Gabriel Hart. I went to college with Julian, helped him through several terrible decisions, and have been covering for him ever since.
Does that include the DNA report?
We need to talk about that.
A real answer this time?
A real answer. But first, there is something I need to finish with Adrian.
What is this? A revised estate plan. My personal holdings, the voting shares I'm legally permitted to transfer, and a trust protecting Eli regardless of what happens to Foster Global. That sounds less like romance and more like a corporate restructuring. I'm not finished. 5 years ago, you disappeared before I could decide what that night meant. Then you came in back with a son who questions everything, a family that ignores personal boundaries, and enough trouble to destroy 2 companies. This proposal is becoming less flattering. Julian Locke. I'm offering every asset I can legally transfer, and everything that cannot be put into a contract. My time, my loyalty, my name, the rest of my life. No escape clauses, no hidden terms. Will you accept the merger?
The liability is substantial. So is the return. Then I accept the full acquisition.
I knew it. You have said that every day for 5 years.
Does this mean I finally get the real DNA result?
Yes.